Now, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, now is the portion of the video that I'm sure many people will be coming to watch. I have to publicly address something. I addressed it on Twitter last night, okay? And I'm not going to put up with this shit at this point, all right? And you might be saying, what the hell is going on? What is Phil talking about, okay? I'm going to address it very generally here, although there is one person I'm going to specifically address. But in general, over the past several years, some popular YouTubers have taken upon themselves to name drop me in their videos, on Twitter, in many different fashions, always in a negative light. It would be, one thing if, someone wants to talk about me and say, oh, Phil's covering Street Fighter 5 or whatever, but no, it's always got to be in a negative light, right? Now, the bottom line is, if you actually watch my stuff, right, I've been around the block. I've been on YouTube since 2007, started really covering stuff in depth in 2008, all right? And over all those years, every once in a while, I'll bring up another YouTuber, and when I do, typically, it's actually in a positive light. Every one or two YouTubers that have pissed me off for stuff that they've done, and I've called them out on it, all right? It's been a long time. Toby Turner. How long has it been since I mentioned his name? Because he stayed out of my shit. There was one moment, like 6 years ago, where his advertisements on YouTube were being spammed on my gameplay videos. And I got pissed off and I called him out for it. He actually apologized on Twitter. And then he bitched out of actually talking to me about it man to man, which I wanted to do. But it is what it is. I mean, here we are in 2016, and who the hell even talks about Toby Turner anymore, right? So who gives a shit? But for the most part, I don't bother with this kind of shit because I'm busy with my own stuff. You know me. I'm here every day on stream. I'm uploading gameplay videos. I'm editing gameplay videos. I don't have time for this fucking name-dropping drama shit. I just don't. The problem is that at this point, it's now become such a big thing that people think it's funny to name-drop DSP or Darkside Phil in a negative light. And it would be one thing if people knew what the fuck they were talking about, but 95% of the time they don't. 95% of the time, they're addressing some bullshit. Alright? They're addressing some kind of crazy bullshit that is based off of a negative video that was made about me, that's usually one-sided and completely false in the scheme of things. It's pretty silly. You ever see these campaign videos for people who are in fucking politics, and they'll take something that a politician said, a million years ago, and they'll say, this person had this stance 5-7 years ago, and now they've completely flippity-flopped. And then you find out that it was like something out of context or whatever. That's kind of what people do to me, all right? Now, not to say that I haven't had any kind of issues with drama, right? And not to say that I'm the best gamer on the planet. And certainly not to say that I have not done a lot of the things that people accuse me of doing, or that, I haven't done negative things in the past. I wholeheartedly fess up to it because guess what? I upload all of it to YouTube myself, right? It's not like there's some behind-the-scenes controversy about DSP that he's been hiding from the public. And all of a sudden, it's come out. DSP exposed. No. Everything that you need to know about me is public. Since 2008, I've shared my life with you on a daily basis. You know all about me if you watch my stuff. There's nothing really to fucking hide. Let's face it here. Okay? So, the reason that I'm bringing all this up, I mean, I could bring up literally dozens of YouTubers who have negatively name-dropped me just to be, oh, we gotta jump on the DSP hate bandwagon for cheap laughs and views and har har har. And it's a fucking super bitch tactic because the bottom line is if these guys had anything interesting to fucking say for themselves, they just focus on that. They focus on their own positive content rather than trying to bring down others with fucking insults and negativity. But a lot of people don't have that kind of quality. They don't have that kind of talent. And so they have to be negative about shit all the time, and that's how they get a name for themselves, alright? I at least like to think that I balance myself. Yes, there's times when I'm negative about shit, in particular this week with Street Fighter 5 and how bad the online connections have been. I openly admit I've been very negative about it. But on the flip side of that, when the game's working, I'm very positive, right? And there's tons of stuff that I've done, games I love, super positive. I've got that balance. And by the way, when I am honest about stuff, I'm not hurting anyone because I'm not pulling shit out of my ass, right? And I'll be honest, again, back in the day, we're talking 5-6 years ago, when I was relatively new to the internet and YouTube, I was misinformed about a lot of stuff, and I had a lot of really uninformed opinions about stuff like Minecraft, right? I used to hate Minecraft. Oh my god, Minecraft is a horrible game for little kids and it's ruining the internet, right? And now here we are in 2016. I've played the game, I understand the appeal of the game, and I've grown a lot as a person. So I can certainly understand, you know, being misinformed and talking out of your asshole, because I've done it in the past, but I certainly don't understand it when you're someone who's a popular YouTuber, you've got a big following, and now you're going to literally talk out of your own fucking colon about something you have no fucking knowledge of what any of it even means. Alright? So let's be real here. Earlier this week, a YouTuber by the name of AlphaOmegaSin put out a vlog, which is pretty much the meat of what he does. He just stands there and rages at the camera, or geeks out at the camera. He does both, dependent on the situation. Basically, he covers gaming news stories, and he covers other stuff too. He's one of these gaming, well, not really gaming, but just kind of drama vlogging YouTubers, where all he really does is stand at the camera and cover current events. Now, he does other stuff too. Alright, he does gaming and stuff, but that's not his primary focus. And he's got a big following for covering controversial topics, and typically raging at these topics, screaming at the top of his lungs, and calling people out, and swearing at the camera, yada yada yada. I don't watch his stuff, I don't watch anyone's stuff on YouTube, so that's not negative to him. I don't watch anyone's stuff on YouTube. I'm too busy with my own stuff. But when I get about, you know, 100 emails from people saying, Phil, why is AlphaOmegaSin talking shit about you in this video? And I watch the video, and for a good 30 seconds, the guy goes on a ranting tangent about rage quitters in video games, doesn't even really apparently understand what it even means to rage quit in a video game, and then he name drops me as the example, like the poster boy for rage quitting in video games. I have to speak up. Okay? I have to. And the bottom line is this, alright? I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore from anyone. I don't give a fuck how big you are on YouTube. You have no right to name drop me in a negative light and be completely fucking wrong. It's one thing if you want to call me out on something that I've actually done, right? But don't come at me with fucking bullshit like this. Because the bottom line is it hurts me and it hurts my business. Because now anyone who watches AlphaOmegaSin's videos is going to say, oh, Darkside Phil, he's that infamous fucking rage quitter. Why would I ever watch him play Street Fighter V? Keep in mind, I put out tons of awesome coverage of Street Fighter V this week, and no rage quitting, because that's not what it fucking is. So let's address it. Alright, let's address it. For about 30 seconds, he has a whole video about how bad Street Fighter V is, okay? And even though he wasn't very concise about it, he has a point. I've complained just as much about Street Fighter V this week, how non-functional it is, how, you know, how many problems the game has. And in the video, for about 30 seconds, he addresses rage quitting. Now, the point that he's trying to make is that if you rage quit an online match of Street Fighter V, there's no penalty for it. So allow me to explain what rage quitting is in a fighting game so that there's no messed up conceptions here, okay? Let's talk about it. In a fighting game, when you're playing a fighting game online, and you rage quit, what it means is that you're in a match, typically a ranked match. It could be a casual match, although somewhat in a casual match doesn't really matter, because there's nothing really being measured in a casual match. If you lose a casual match in most fighting games, it doesn't affect anything. No rankings or anything are negatively affected, okay? So, in regards to an online fighting game, if you're playing a ranked match and you're losing, alright, you're going to lose the match. So basically when you lose, your rank's going to go down, you're going to lose ranking points, whatever the hell it is. Instead of letting the match finish and basically taking your licks and accepting your loss, you quit the internet. So whether you pull the Ethernet cord out the back of your console, whether you shut the game down, whatever means it is, and it's different for different games too. There's different ways to rage quit. Basically, you quit out of the match before the results of that match can be recorded in the online servers, and there's no negative penalty put against you. And it's equally frustrating because the person who won doesn't get credit for their win either. Okay? So, the bottom line is, it's a bad practice. It's nasty. It's cowardly. It's dishonest. It's fucking really just a way to prove that you're a bitch and you can't man up and actually play a fighting game and take a loss. Okay? And I am staunchly against it. I've always been staunchly against rage quitting. In fact, if you watch the thousands upon thousands of fighting game videos that I have released across the internet, you will be very hard pressed to find me rage quitting. Now, some people don't know what rage quit actually means, and they make shit up. And they'll be like, oh, well, it's if you just give up. No, that's wrong, because at least if you're playing the game and you take your loss, the other person gets credit for the win. There have been times when I'm playing online games and I'm frustrated. The connection's absolutely terrible. Or, in particular, there's a character who online is incredibly abusable because of the online lag between when you're doing stuff with your actual controller and when it actually takes effect in the game. And there have been matches where I just give it up and I'm like, whatever, just beat me, I don't give a shit. That's not a rage quit. And if you say it is, you're a fucking moron. That's not what a fucking rage quit is. A rage quit in a fighting game is when you quit out of the match to stop that match from being recorded on the online servers and cheating everyone out of credit for the match. Now, the reason why this is a big issue in Street Fighter V is because there is no penalty in Street Fighter V for doing it. You can go play ranked matches right now in Street Fighter V, be ready to lose, and immediately just rage quit out of the match. You will not be penalized, and your rank doesn't go down. So right now, there's a lot of controversy because people are feeling that the top-ranked people playing Street Fighter V actually didn't earn those rankings, that they probably lost a ton along with the wins that they have, but the losses aren't being recorded because they're quitting out. Okay? So that's the big issue, the big controversy about Street Fighter V. Why was there no penalty instituted for rage quitting? And I agree, that is horrendous. It's complete lack of foresight by the game developers to think that they don't need to include some kind of a fail-safe so people don't just quit out of every ranked match when they lose. Now, the bottom line is, does any of it matter? No, because no one gives a fuck about online rankings in the game. But these kids who play these fucking games got these giant big E-fucking boners, and they actually feel that, you know, it matters to the fact that they win every match in a fucking online fighting game. Now, for those of us who've been around the block, people like me who have been a competitive Street Fighter player back in the day before these games even had online connectivity, it's a joke. It's a running joke. Because if you actually think that that shit matters, you basically have no fucking life. You're a geek. You think that having an online record in a fighting game matters, it's a joke. Most people, right, who are big-ass tournament winners don't give a fuck about their online ranking. It's stupid. It's pointless, okay? But it's still annoying. And it definitely was a big lack of foresight by the game developers. They didn't put a penalty in there, okay? Now, let's talk about why I'm pissed off. AlphaOmegaSin talks about rage quitting for 30 seconds in his rant about Street Fighter V earlier this week. But what does he say? He says, oh yeah, rage quitting, you know, when you get one of those players that just, you know, they're losing so badly in a game, and, you know, they're getting completely ass-whooped, and they just can't stop making excuses for their loss, and of course, oh, it's never has to do with them just not being good, or, not, you know, not having skill, it's always an excuse, and then they just rage quit out of the game, you know, guys like Darkside Phil. And basically, he uses me as an example of a rage quitter. And some people are saying he didn't. Bullshit. He started his statement with rage quitters. He ended his statement with rage quitters. My name was in the middle. I don't give a fuck how you want to spin it to try to defend the guy. He fucked up. Because the problem is, I never rage quit. You will be very hard pressed in the thousands of matchups I've uploaded to YouTube. The more matchups than anyone else. I have uploaded more fighting game matchups than any other fucking human to YouTube. Good luck finding a legitimate rage quit. Alright? There's one match that someone found. Guess what? It was from my April Fool's special where I did it on purpose as an April Fool's joke, and it was shocking because people were like, holy shit, Phil rage quit, and he's never done that before. It doesn't happen. Now, I'm sure someone will find some kind of an exception or something that happened now that I've said this. They'll data mine my fucking 4,000 fighting game matches and maybe find something. The bottom line is, I'm the least guilty of this accusation of anyone on the planet. The least guilty. Okay? So, for someone who's a big YouTuber, who has a good following on YouTube, right, to say something like this has absolutely, it's irresponsible, it's disrespectful, it's insulting, and it's fucking wrong. And the bottom line is, people do this shit all the time about me. They do. And I let it go, and I just say, you know what, I'll let it go, because I'm just focused on my own shit. But here's the problem, because already there's people in the stream chat trying to defend AlphaOmegaSin. Even if he's wrong, you should just let it go. Alright, I've been the bigger man for a long time. I have. I'm very different now than I used to be. When I started out on YouTube, I was very cocky. I thought I was the cock of the walk. I was the big shit. You know, I was the one who was very popular for doing fighting games and stuff on YouTube. And a lot of the fighting game community did not like me for that, because they said, here's a guy who's not even a tournament winner, and here we are trying to be full-time gamers, and we're barely scraping by trying to win tournaments and shit to pay our bills, while Phil is just uploading casual matches to YouTube, and he's known for fighting games, and he makes a living doing it. That's not fair. And a lot of people in the fighting game community hate me for that. I can't help that. I can't help natural jealousy over success. I just can't. You know, it happened. It's not like I planned for this or anything. It all just kind of fell into my lap. And I've been doing it, you know, full-time for a while now. And, you know, certainly I feel for those who want to do gaming full-time and they can't make ends meet and they hate me for it. Well, whatever. You know, I can't help that. But with the people on YouTube, you know, to be angry at me for that, whatever. But the bottom line is, YouTubers, as of late now, feel safe. They feel safe at talking shit about me. And the stuff that they say is completely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I've had big YouTubers accuse me of abusing copyright law. That I throw false takedowns at other YouTubers constantly, and I'm known for it, and I'm infamous for it. And I actually was called a dick sucker publicly for doing this, even though I've never, ever instituted anything like that on YouTube without legal counsel, meaning I hired a fucking lawyer to tell me whether or not I had a legal claim to anything, and or the interaction of my partner network, Machinima. But I get the shit for it, even though I have nothing to fucking do with it, and I've never done anything illegal or superfluous on the internet. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's just one example of the many, many people who have tried to talk shit about me over the years, and I always let it go. I do. I always say I'll be the bigger man, and I'll just focus on my stuff. But now I've had enough. For two reasons, alright? Number one, I am a pro fighting game player. Not currently, but if ever I want to, I could play a game enough and come back to the community and be a pro level fighting game player if I wanted to. Now, I don't know if I want to, but I have tournament history. You can look on the internet right fucking now, and you can see that I have won tournaments. And we're not talking one little rinky-dink tournament, a local here or there. Let's see, 4th place at EVO World, won 2 different EVO Easts, placed top 8 at other EVO qualifiers that weren't even in my local region. So those who try to make excuses, oh, he's just the best of his region. No, I went to all the qualifiers in 2007 and pretty much qualified at every single one that I entered. And I had so many spots reserved for myself at EVO because I won so much in 2007, they had to give spots the fuck away. I've won in multiple versions of Street Fighter over the years. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Anniversary Edition, the other version of Super Turbo, 2 other ones that people didn't like, Arcade Super Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike I've done really well in tournaments on. So I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what I mean? You're going to tell me that I basically suck at fighting games? You can fucking eat a dick, because you're wrong. Now, I'm not great at every single fighting game, and certainly one thing that I will say that AlphaOmegaSin has said about me is 100% true. If I'm playing a fighting game online, and the connection is diddly dicks, and someone's using an abusive strategy on me, and I can't react to it, I will say this game is a fucking piece of shit, this player sucks ass, and no, it's not my fucking fault, because it's online. Good luck doing those kind of stupid, abusive, pattern Ken tactics in an offline tournament and actually getting that to work against anyone, including me. Because it doesn't work, okay? It doesn't. It's bullshit. And anyone who's a top level, pro level fighting game player looks at that kind of shit and laughs and says, yeah, that was a terrible player. Phil had a bad match and he raged about it. And everyone has that kind of match, just that Phil actually vocalizes it in his videos. Well, a lot of other people say, well, I'll just swallow it or I'll grin and bear it. No, I call it out for its bullshit. Because I have fucking balls. Okay? And I will call bullshit out when I see it. So that is absolutely correct. If that was the point that AlphaOmegaSin is trying to make, that I complain in videos, yeah. But why don't you take a look at this week's Street Fighter V coverage, AlphaOmegaSin, where out of how many videos that I've uploaded, over, I believe, about 100 so far, I've complained maybe 10 to 20 times tops. So what, 1/10 to 1/5 of the time, there may be a blip in the internet connection and I say something about it. That's not the majority of the time. So for you to portray it like all I do is sit here and bitch and moan at fighting games, wrong. Now the fact that you even brought my name up in the realm of something about rage quitting is a fucking atrocity, a farce, and it proves you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no fucking clue. That is incredibly disrespectful to someone like me, who over all the years has been one of the staunchest opponents of rage quitting in fighting games. One of the I always call that shit out, always, and say that is fucking a pussy move, that is a chicken shit move, it's cowardly, it don't deserve it. All the matches where I've sat there and raged at how bad the player was or the connection was, I never rage quit the game. I at least take the licking, and it fucking registers on the online server. So, wrong, fucking wrong. You are wrong. And I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm just not. I'm not going to be the butt of everyone's joke. And here's the other reason, because I just brought up number one. I am a tournament winner. I know I'm a good player. Everyone knows I'm a good player who isn't a fucking jackass. And you can't erase that. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to rage quitting. Alright? Number two, when people like this say shit like this in their videos about me, it hurts me. It hurts myself, it hurts my business, because like I said, people might be looking for Street Fighter V coverage. I'm certainly not going to be the top guy on the fucking internet for that. But if you're looking for someone who played a bunch of online play, oh, here's one from Darkside Phil. Oh wait, AlphaOmegaSin said he's just a shithead, dirty rage quitter who complains every fucking match. Well, I'm not going to watch his stuff, and they pass the video by. And that's his fault for lying in his fucking video. And I'm not putting up with the bullshit any fucking more. I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done with it. Anyone who wants to fucking say shit, you're gonna get fucking roasted when I get my fucking hands on you. Because there's a lot of shit I could say about a lot of fucking YouTubers, and they're not gonna like it. And it's real fucking talk. But I bite my tongue so that I just stick to my own work stuff, and I just do my own shit every day. I don't let it get to me, right? Even though, as all the other YouTubers have surpassed me with all their tactics on YouTube to become bigger and better, and they soak up all the fucking views, and I just sit here minding my own business, doing my own thing every day, right? And I get all this fucking hate from all the little kids of the internet, and now all these YouTubers are gonna try to make me the butt of their fucking jokes. Fuck no. Now you've done it. Now you've broken the last straw. I'm sorry. No, I said that wrong. That is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's that simple. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I am not gonna fucking put up with this shit any longer. Real fucking talk. I've been way too relaxed when it comes to this shit. I've let everyone shit on me, 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 shit on me everywhere, to the point where I've got shit up to my fucking eyeballs. And I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. So from now on, if you're gonna name drop me, and you're gonna be fucking wrong, at least be right about what you're saying. Like if AlphaOmegaSin's point was, Phil complains a lot when he plays fighting games. Okay. That's actually a valid point. I probably do it more than anyone else because I call people out for their shit and I call game programmers out for their bullshit. Right? That's kind of the catch of a lot of the reason people watch my stuff. To hear me rage and call bullshit when I see it. But to say I'm a rage quitter, you fucked up. You don't even know what the word means if you're going to call me a rage quitter. So, I'm done with this. Everyone wants to try to pull this shit. You're going to get fucked. I'm done with it. I'm not going to put up with any of this shit anymore. You want to fucking pull some bullshit on Twitter and talk shit about me? You know, I make a big video where I'm talking about an important subject on YouTube, and maybe I misspeak in one part, or I make one point that you disagree with, and you're going to ignore the whole fucking thing that I'm saying, the whole general positive point that I'm saying, because you nitpick one little fucking thing and you want to call me out on Twitter. I'm going to rip your fucking asshole out and shove it down your throat, because I am not going to be the whipping boy of YouTube anymore. So, I'm putting everyone on fucking notice. I'm not a bitch. I'm not anyone's pussy. And if you're going to be wrong, prepare to get your asshole ripped out. Because I'm not putting up with it any fucking longer. No. No. The bottom line is, I was around doing YouTube videos before most of you. And you think that you're just going to use me as the fucking joke, the butt of the joke of YouTube. DSP still around? Oh, you just fucking, you woke the sleeping dragon. You opened a can of worms that you are not going to be able to digest. You don't want to fuck with it. You don't. So, anyway, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up, last night I brought it up on Twitter. I direct tweeted AlphaOmegaSin. I don't know if he's going to respond. I didn't insult him. I basically just said, you're dead fucking wrong. You obviously only have a casual understanding of what fighting games are and what rage quitting actually is. I'm not a rage quitter, and you misrepresented me to your viewership, which is ridiculous and not professional. And you owe them an apology, and you owe me an apology, and let's see if you're man enough. So we'll see what happens, right? And all these... Oh, my God. I swear, I'm tired of this shit. If you have a pair of balls, now's the time to show it. Not... Oh, Phil just fueled the trolls. He fueled the trolls by saying, fuck the trolls. The trolls say shit about me no matter what anyway. I've been quiet. Every time I'm quiet, they just make new shit up. For 3 days, they've been trying to find examples of me rage quitting in fighting games. They pulled one out from my April Fool's special, and then they pulled out a video of me where I gave up in Injustice because the guy was spamming projectiles and the connection was too laggy for me to react. So I just walked forward the whole match and let him beat me, and they said that was a rage quit. It's not, and you're a fucking moron if you think it is. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. The trolls will say whatever the fuck they want, and there's nothing I can do about it. So let them have a fucking field day. Let them pull out their fucking dicks and jerk off all over their fucking computer screens, because that's the only reason that they fucking follow me anyway, because this is how they get their fucking attention and popularity. Do you think I'm going to be calling them out? No. But if a legit YouTuber is going to be dead fucking wrong, then I'm going to fucking say something. Alright. So there we have it. I've now gotten it off my chest. I feel a lot better now. I've almost lost my voice. But it is what it is. Name droppers will be name droppers. You want to try to get that little bit of attention, right? Oh my God, someone mentioned Phil. Oh. Good luck. You'll need it. Because if you're going to be fucking dead wrong, you're going to get called out. And this is just the beginning. So, let's see what happens with these people now and what they're going to fucking do. Because I'm just not. I'm not going to be. I'm a man with a business, and I'm not going to have my business get run into the ground by fucking people who want to be irresponsible and talk shit about me completely incorrectly. And just, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Alright. So that is it, everyone, for the pre-stream. I got it off my chest. Alright, and I'm sure this video, oh, the drama, Phil talks shit, which I didn't. There was no shit talking in this video. There was real talk. That's the difference. Shit talk and real talk are two completely different things. That's the reason a lot of people don't like me, because I talk for real. I talk the truth, and sometimes the realities are very harsh, but I always speak it, and I have the balls to fucking say the truth, rather than these people who just talk shit out of their assholes completely incorrectly about stuff and want to basically make someone look bad, so hopefully they get more attention, right? That's the difference between me and other people. But I digress. I got it off my chest, and now the time has come for me to actually play Street Fighter, which is what most of you are here for. So thank you for being patient, and now we shall begin. That's it. I got it off my chest. I'm not going to talk about it again. I'm not going to talk about it again for a while, at least. But I had to get that off my chest. Sometimes you just gotta be real.